Welcome back to Geekshow Arcade!
Boom. Oh, I hate that so much. I hate that soundboard with all of my heart, passion, and soul.
No, you don't.
Nope. No, you don't. You love it. You
Not what you
love
said
it.
the
I'm
other
going to get one of
day.
my own and see how you feel.
I choose to like it.
Yeah.
See? Jared
I
likes it.
hated
And
it
let it-
before, but now I love it.
And
That's
then
how-
you remember that's not what you said last time. You really liked the soundboard.
That's how bad jokes go. They're really bad, and then eventually they go on for so long that they become funny. It's the circle of jokes. Yep. This is the Geek Show Arcade, where we talk about video games and video game related things. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. We'll start with Grumpy Gus over here, Lando.
Hey, it's Grumpy Gus Lando. That's me. You can find me on the Twitters or the formerly known, whatever the crap we're calling it nowadays, at Landon Conover, on the Blue Skies, at Landon Conover. That's me, and I'm awesome.
All right. He's underneath Grumpy Gus. He's Jaren.
I used to be Grumpy Gus. I'm glad I'm not anymore. You can find me on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, at Jaren, and that's it.
Perfect.
Next to
You don't
Jaren,
even
we
promote you. You don't even promote your Blue Sky anymore.
he doesn't ever open it.
I
Next to Jaren, we got Owen.
Hey, that's me. Follow me
Hey.
on Twitter, formerly known as. I'm not savvy enough to say it like Jaren, but that other place that used to be Twitter.
I tried. Did you
At
see me
Technoan.
fail?
I'm not confident enough. Follow me on Blue Sky at Technoan. I was cool and got the same username on both platforms, not like Jaren because he couldn't. I think
Yeah, me
that's
too.
probably why he doesn't promote his Blue Sky. So you can follow me on there, or I'm always following our host.
Owen, I'm taking you
Who's
down this
Tony?
episode.
Thanks, Owen. Check me out on Twitter at QuadTTony or X. And I got the name I would have liked to get on Twitter, which is just Quad T on Blue Sky. So I'm at Quad T on Blue Sky.
Nice.
Yeah, not too bad. All right, before we get started on the stories for this week, do we have any emails?
Yeah, we do. We got an email from our Lang.
Our Lang.
Our Lang, that's what I'll
Hey.
call him. He says, hey, Arcadesters, two things. First, my YouTube algorithm now only recommends PC handhelds. And I got
So
this
it
mind
works.
blower. It's called the TJD T101.
Boy, that's a good name.
Yeah.
Sounds like
It's-
a prototype.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Interesting looking device. It's from a brand I've never heard of, and it's on Indiegogo, so buyer beware.
TJTD01?
101.
101. I'm looking this up.
Yeah, TJD T101. It's a 10-inch handheld with controllers on the side, just like all the other handhelds. And
Is
it
that
has
what they have?
it's the latest 7840U AMD chip, so similar performance to the Legion Go, ROG Ally, and other such devices. The more expensive one, $950, comes with 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD, blah, blah, blah. Looks like a solid device, Hall effect sensors in the joysticks and
That's nice.
triggers, but the screen, they're calling it full HD, which I'm fine with that resolution, but they're not talking refresh rate at all, so it's probably 60 hertz.
This is a chunky boy, too.
Definitely not
Holy.
VRR. So other than the screen, it looks pretty solid in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I just can't get behind a handheld that doesn't have the 120 hertz VRR, man. It's just a game changer on handhelds. Even though a lot of the games don't go above 120 hertz, when you factor in the VRR, go above 60 hertz, when you factor in the VRR and the different ways you can leverage that, it just works so well.
Thing is, though,
great.
like I play a lot of older games on it, like
Those
between
will.
2006 and 2014. Those most definitely will go above 60 hertz, and so you do actually get to use it quite a bit.
Yeah, so it's every other one that's been announced since the ROG Ally, that's the first thing I look at. Does it go above 60 hertz? Does it have variable refresh rate?
Yeah.
Those are table stakes for me now.
Yep. He goes on, says, next, one of my bucket list items is going to a big video game tournament. More than likely EVO, since the Overwatch League isn't doing too hot. So my question is, if you could go to a large game tournament, which one would you like to see? And no, Jaren, there isn't an Uncharted tournament.
Womp womp.
Keep casting Lang. Yeah, he knows me.
Mine, I already know
Gotcha.
mine. I already know mine. StarCraft. 2.
StarCraft. Yep.
Like
I was
StarCraft
gonna say the same
tournaments
thing.
are just bananas.
I wouldn't go to any because video games aren't a sport.
They are.
What?
How dare you yuck somebody's yum?
I know. I'm just kidding. But honestly, I really don't care about esports. I care about esports just slightly more than I care about regular sports. No, that's not true. That's a lie. I don't care about either of them at all. So
I like that you tried though.
I couldn't do it any
A for
longer.
effort, Tony.
Yeah.
I don't care about going to any esports tournament at all. And that's just me. That's a Tony thing, to people that love that, awesome. Get into it. Go crazy.
I largely agree with you. If there was like a speed running tournament, if
There
such
is.
things
It's called
exist,
Games Done Quick.
Yeah, they got those.
That interests me more than like a typical.
I would go to Games Done Quick. That'd be fun. Let's go.
That could be kind of fun. Yeah.
Is it like an actual event that you could go to?
Yeah,
though?
it's a real event, and there's a bunch of speedrunners. They all just it's not like a tournament per se, but it's an event where all the speedrunners go and they all showcase their speedruns of their games. Go check it out on YouTube.
I've seen that, but I would want it in tournament form. That'd be fun.
If I was going to go to
they do
any
some
event,
races and things on it. Like so they'll pick a game and they'll have like 4 or 5 speedrunners racing the game.
Oh,
that's
cool.
fun.
if I was going to go to any event like that, it would be something like QuakeCon, where it's I don't really care about Blizzard games at all, but I think going to BlizzCon would still be fun.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff, but the sports aspect of it, the competition aspect of it, I don't really care about that. But and speaking of Overwatch League, it is most likely ending. I was reading some articles about that
really?
today, actually, recently, and they just don't want to invest any more money into it because it's not picking up the momentum that they wanted. So yeah, it's probably on its way out. So,
Womp womp.
there you go. All right, thanks for writing in, Lang. Story time. Let's see. Let's start off with sad news. But I can't say that I didn't see it coming once I heard it. So we talked about this a little while back. The Batman Arkham trilogy is coming to Switch, and very exciting, fantastic games. It's got delayed already again, though. Or
They
maybe
probably
not again.
can't get Night working on the Switch.
Bingo. That is exactly where I was going with that, Jaron. So it's been delayed to December 1st, which is almost a 2-month delay from where it was going to come out on the 13th of October. And I would put money on exactly what you said, Jaron. Arkham Knight ran so poorly on PC, ported over to PC from the console. It ran pretty decent on the consoles, but once again, we're still talking about porting it to another platform, and they had such a hard time moving it to PC that I can't even imagine what trying to move this game to a mobile console like the Switch would be.
Ancient mobile console like the Switch.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I would
confirm.
I would 100% say if you're excited for this trilogy, wait for it. Reviews,
Switch
don't
2.
pre-order that. Yeah, maybe. Don't pre-order it. And I know I say that and then break that frequently, but do as I say, not as I do. But in this case specifically, if they're delaying it this close to when it was supposed to come out, that's because it's not working right. And so definitely wait for reviews to see how it actually runs on the Switch. So there you go.
When was the release
let's
date?
see.
Did you say that? When was the release date for that?
It was supposed to be the 13th of October, so like 10 days from now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's really close. Wow.
Yeah. And then they're pushing it back almost 2 months. So I don't know what they plan on having done in 2 months. Like they spent a year trying to optimize it on the PC, and it still runs like dookie. So there you go. Let's see. You know what? Let's just keep the sadness train rolling. Jaron, tell us about Hyenas.
This was a game published by Sega. It was supposed to come out within the next couple of months. Instead, they sacked the studio and canceled the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even get why they were making this. They're shooting for their extraction style games as a service, but it was being made by Creative Assembly, and Creative Assembly makes really good games, but not this style of game. Why would you have them do this kind of game?
these executives pushing for games as a service, it's just been a disaster for most companies out there.
This was the team that would make the Total War games. And
Totally different than Hyenas.
yeah, and Alien Isolation, which is
that was a good game.
Was first person, but it wasn't a competitive shooter by any stretch. It was like a story based first person game. So yeah, I don't know why they were trying to shoehorn this team into making a game like this. I actually played the closed alpha of Hyenas, and it was trash. I hate to say it. It was not good. But I chalked it up as being an alpha. I thought maybe they'd improve it by the time that it came out. Apparently they decided nope. So
Easier just to give up.
Yep.
And that's what I was always taught.
That's what I've been doing. Just
That
give
explains
up.
a lot about you, Jaron.
Let's see. In good news, Horizon Forbidden West has been announced for PC.
I am super excited about this. And it shows Sony continues to bring out their best games onto PC.
Love it.
Like 2 years late, but that's okay. I'll take it.
The fact that it appears at all, I think, is fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, it's coming out on PC early next year in Q1. It's the complete edition, so it comes with their Burning Shores DLC.
Yep.
Which is also coming out in a new all-combined version for PS5, I think this month. So if you haven't played Forbidden West yet, you can pick it up all in one package now. But if you have a PC, I would wait for that because Nixxes is doing the porting, and they are a great studio and have done a great job in the past. So it will most likely be a very quality port. So I'm excited. I will finally play it. I played for like 4 hours on PS5, but I stopped.
Nixxes is like the kings of console to PC ports. They do such a good job. So very, very exciting. I already beat that one on PS5 though, so I'm probably not going to buy it again on PC.
Yeah, I hope Sony continues to do these ports because Jim Ryan, the CEO of PlayStation, is stepping down in March. And I hope the new leadership is as driven to keep publishing on PC as he seemed to have been.
I feel like
think
they have
will
to
be.
now to compete with Microsoft.
Yeah, I think they want to compete in that realm with Microsoft, but also you have to look, Jim Ryan was only CEO for the last 3 years. He started in 2019.
When did the PC ports start? It's probably been longer than that.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It
Okay,
was the thing before he took over, and so I think it'll continue to be a thing after he retires. So, I don't know. It's like Jim Ryan's retiring, and it's like, what did Jim Ryan do?
Yeah, what did he do?
I
mean, he oversaw the launch of the PS5. That's big.
That's big. Yeah. But I mean, the success of the PS5, I think, has more to do with Mark Cerny, who designed, engineered a lot of the hardware, worked with the hardware team on that.
Sometimes being stable in itself is an accomplishment.
That's
just
true.
Not losing.
There's a lot more to selling a console than just designing a good one. I mean, he was ultimately in charge of the marketing and all that stuff and making the decisions. But he's done a good job. PS5 is winning the generation so far.
PS4 also won the generation, though, and it did. It had a lot of momentum. Sony had a ton of momentum going into this gen. So
didn't help PS3. PS2's momentum was insane.
Yeah, that's because guess what? The hardware on PS3 was stupid.
Yeah.
Bad hardware design.
They tried to sell it. They tried to sell that PS3 like it was like the Ark of the Covenant, though. Like the PC and the hardware was just anyway.
The way they leveraged that basically on paper, that PS3 was supposed to be like a supercomputer in your living room.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then developers got a hold of it and they're like, "Oh,
wait a minute.
How are we supposed to use this?"
This thing is not great. Yeah,
the
CPU was powerful, but the GPU was underpowered.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I saw people taking it and just disregarding the GPU and using it and chaining tens or 20s of them together to make these supercomputing computers because they worked well for that.
Yep.
Gaming, not so much.
Luckily, crypto didn't exist back then, so we don't have to go into that.
I did try.
Rounding out,
I had a PS3 and I tried, but it didn't work.
Rounding out the Sony news, the PlayStation Portal is up for pre-order $200 gets you a not great device. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
You're not getting this? Come on, it's got PS Vita
No.
vibes.
No, it does
Come
not
on.
have
Does
PS Vita
not
vibes.
have Vita
It is
vibes.
a PlayStation 5 controller cut in half with a screen in the middle.
Yep.
The-
What is the PS Vita?
The design is hideous. It doesn't do anything other than stream from your PS5, and it's an LCD screen, so that's not great either.
I don't know why they made this. This makes
They
no
just needed
sense.
something. They needed something.
It doesn't even feel like a we need something. It feels like, I think the joke we made before was it feels like the CEO's son
Yeah.
was given a job.
This is the
and like,
Homer mobile. This
Yep,
is the
this
Homer
is
mobile.
the Homer
Yeah.
mobile.
Yep.
And you can stream PlayStation on any Steam Deck or PC handheld already.
iPad,
iPad,
Android.
iPhone, yeah. You don't need to buy this device.
No, if you want to go spend $100 on a Razer Kishi or a Backbone or something like that, and hook it up to your phone, and you'll get the
My backbone.
exact same
I
experience.
need a new backbone because I have USB-C now. Yay.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Womp
That's a
womp.
lot of e-waste. Poor form. Apple.
Anyone want a backbone for cheap?
Jaren's selling his Backbone. He doesn't need that anymore.
I've never had one. Don't need one now.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I've
plan
never-
on starting today.
Yep. I haven't had one for years.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Sony news in the last couple days, and all of it kind of meh, except for the PC game. That's good. We like that. Well, speaking of PC games, I guess let's just finish this up here, Jaren, with your story. Counter-Strike 2 is out. Have you played it yet?
I haven't. That kind of looks cool though. Like there's some really cool smoke physics going on here that I want to try out. And that sounds lame, but it's kind of they've done it in such a way where it's actually a game mechanic.
So I
way it
have
works.
played it, and I have seen the smoke physics as I play, and it is kind of cool. So what happens is if a smoke bomb goes off, you can shoot through it, because it's smoke, but the bullet leaves a tunnel as it
Trail-
pushes
so it
through the
tears
smoke,
through. That's
and then
cool.
the smoke collapses back in on the tunnel like
Like a real vortex.
like a vortex. Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's super cool.
it's pretty cool. The
I
weird
think I also heard like the water physics were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the liquid physics in Half-Life Alyx are excellent,
Yeah, they were.
and that's what this is. This is the first Source 2 game that hasn't been for VR, so it makes sense that it would have that kind of good stuff as well. The weird thing about this, if you ask me, was that it just replaces Counter-Strike Go. If you
that is
own
weird.
Counter-Strike Go, now it's Counter-Strike 2. Counter-Strike Go is gone. It's just not there anymore.
It's just,
So that's not great for game preservation.
Kind of weird. Yeah,
is the game the same though? Like
it is. It's basically just a Counter-Strike Go on a new engine with some new physics and stuff. All the same maps, all that kind of stuff. So, if you're into Counter-Strike, I think you'll like this. It plays so different than all the other FPSs I'm used to playing, though, like Halo.
Very
and-
twitchy.
And Call of Duty. It's very twitchy. There is only aim down sight on like 2 guns.
Really, I didn't know.
Yeah.
so everything else is just kind of crosshair. Like
Yep. And if you move, the bloom, some people call it bloom, other people call it like spread of your accuracy goes out the window on most of the guns. So you have to be like planted, like real life. You can't be running and trying to shoot and be accurate at the same time.
They can't tell me what to do. I can do it.
Oh, you
gonna go
can.
play Halo.
You won't hit anything, but you can. Go ahead. So, yeah, it was interesting. Coming from someone who didn't play a lot of Counter-Strike, I don't know if I'll be playing a lot of Counter-Strike 2. It's just, I don't think it's my cup of tea, but I think if you're a fan of the other ones, you're going to like this one too. So, there you go. Let's see. Also, game-wise, release-wise, Xbox announced their Game Pass games for October, the first wave of games included on their Game Pass game subscription. Warhammer 40K Dark Tide is available on as of this recording, on Xbox. It was already available on PC. Now it's coming to Xbox on Game Pass.
Nice. That's a quality game.
That's quite a cool game, actually. If you like the what is that? Yakuza series, you have one of the prequels here, Like a Dragon Ishin, is available on the 17th on console and PC. You got a game that is kind of wacky looking, but kind of fun looking, From Space. It's a twin stick shooter, kind of isometric view that you can have up to 4 people co-op as you go through, and the art looks kind of fun on it. So check that out. And then the big one for the first half of October, by far the big one, is Forza Motorsport.
Ooh, I am so excited for this.
Yeah, coming out on the 10th. It looks pretty jaw-droppingly gorgeous.
Yeah.
I have a racing wheel, and I am very excited to get that out, play some Forza.
Yeah, it's we've seen a few videos that Digital Foundry's done on it already, and it looks amazing. It's got the classic Forza physics and simulation style driving, and then just super good looking track graphics, car graphics. You know, the environment looks amazing. The lighting just looks phenomenal. So, yeah, it's finally to the point where I feel like the current generation is starting to pay off for Xbox Game Pass owners or subscribers. You know, we're finally getting a bunch of good games this last half of this year that really make it feel worth paying the money for. So exclusive wise, anyway.
And are they pulling any games off that are notable? Did they announce those already?
Yeah, they have the list here, but I don't know. Maybe this is just me. I don't see anything on here that is super.
I see. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. That was a banger. Dang it, I'll miss that one.
Wait, did you actually play that?
No.
I was gonna say. There's that one. There's something called Trek to Yomi. The legend.
I've heard that's good.
The Legend of Tianding, Shenzhen IO, Overwhelm, and Evil. Evil. So those are leaving in October. Like I said, not any real big names on there, but I'm sure there's fans, you know, like the Turnip. Everyone loves the Turnip game.
Everybody, Turnip Boy commits tax evasion.
Grade A for naming that game.
Yeah. Like what? I mean, it's endless. Out. What else can Turnip Boy do? What else can he commit? Turnip Boy commits fraud.
Turnip Boy commits
larceny.
Yeah. First degree murder.
Yeah, Turnip Boy commits arson. That's a hot spin-off of the original.
This games could go on forever.
I love it.
All right, let's see. Speaking of games that go on forever, there's some Minecraft news.
Yeah, buddy.
Here's some really lame news about Minecraft. You can vote for the new mob on Minecraft.
What's a mob?
What does that mean?
They've announced the mobs. That's what they call the monsters. Lando, why do they call
the monsters or any of the non-player? They're like NPCs, but they're not characters. They're like the sheep are mobs, the cows. Like, they're entities that like move around, and they're like part of the environment.
They call them mobs.
So the zombies are mobs, the creepers are mobs, the cows, the goats,
but not the people.
Do you think that came from being mobbed by them? Maybe? I don't understand where mobs can. Anyway, I'm not that cool. But every few years or so, they will.
Usually, every major update, they do what they call a mob vote.
A mob vote,
and add a new mob to the game.
And they put some thought in that. I remember when. I mean, I've been tracking Minecraft forever, like you said, Tony. So I remember when they added foxes. I remember when they added ocelots.
The stupid phantoms.
Yep, everything. So this one, and what they do is they will slowly release 3. They'll reveal 3.
They've all been leaked. I know what they all are. If you want to know.
Oh, have they? I only know the one. So let's talk about this one first. The one that they've officially released that they debuted is the crab. So what else you got, Lando?
So apparently because they do it on YouTube videos, right? But apparently the other 2 videos are part of an unlisted playlist. Somebody found them.
Someone found the link. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's the crab, and then the other 2 are going to be either a jellyfish or a seagull.
Okay.
They're kind of named this year, actually.
And so the way it works is they just draw. They have the people come and vote based on they'll do a big.
So it used to be during Minecon, they'd have a big vote where everyone could vote on the mob, but now they don't do Minecon anymore. They just do have here's the next update, kind of like an Apple presentation.
Well, they should
do vote during the live presentation.
Crabs Out of those three, I would say crabs.
Oh, and the crab they did, and the new mob will have some special cool thing that you can do with it, right? They put a lot of thought into how this can help players, what it can do to the gameplay, and so this crab, if you catch one or have one in your, I don't know exactly how, maybe a crab claw from if you kill one, it will allow you to place blocks farther than you normally would. So it gives you a couple extra blocks reach for placing blocks when you're building. So.
See, I would have gone with if you can sneak a crab into your friend's inventory, their character is itchy. That's what I
was hoping for a Zoidberg.
Crabs.
Whoop, 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 whoop. You know, something.
Yeah.
I was hoping for
makes them walk sideways and go.
Because there are some emotes, right, Landon? You can do emotes in that. You can point or wave, right? Mm-hmm. I think that the crab should have allowed a Zoidberg type dance to.
Although I think the emotes might be Bedrock Edition only.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's a Java thing.
Why not Zoidberg?
Yeah. So there you go. It's coming up. They'll slowly release those over the next couple months or so, and then do the vote.
All right.
So
there you go. All right, 2 more stories, and then it's time for Lando's casual Kono.
Yay! I'll contribute something to the podcast.
Yeah. So stay awake a little bit longer, Lando. I know you can do it.
Conover's casual corner.
Oh, that's good, Jaron. That's some good alliteration.
That's it. You found it.
Well done.
Yeah.
All right. First up on the second to last story is: does anyone actually want this? This is the Naughty Dog. This is the Naughty Dog story I teased in Help Desk. So the Last of Us multiplayer game is now officially on ice. That's my question. Was anyone clamoring for a Last of Us 2 multiplayer game?
No.
I can't think of a single person I know that likes The Last of Us that cares about multiplayer in The Last of Us.
Like the Uncharted multiplayer, it was okay. It was
all right.
But
yeah.
Naughty Dog makes single-player games. They should stick to single-player games.
Only thing I know about Last of Us is anytime I ask somebody about it, they get all teary-eyed and they just kind of get sad. Yep. I don't know how you'd want to do it. And I haven't played it for that. Like, I've heard, like, I just don't have the emotional
You bring
fortitude.
that experience to multiplayer, Owen.
Yeah, it's just people where you just cry with people. You're just like, it's basically
just get together
hopeless.
and talk about the story and cry.
Yeah, it's just an open chat. Okay, I see.
So the game initially started out as a piece of Last of Us 2, like a multiplayer companion, but apparently the project grew in size and was eventually spun out to become a standalone title. And then, Sony brought in Bungie after they purchased Bungie a while back. You remember that? I forgot they bought Bungie a while back. Anyway, they brought Bungie in to evaluate the live service game that they'd produced so far for The Last of Us multiplayer. And, Bungie said it was poopy. The outcome was not positive, it says. And apparently that set development back quite dramatically now to the point where it's not in active development anymore.
They just iced it. They're like, you know what? Cut our losses.
Yeah, yep.
Cut our losses.
So they can now dedicate resources on Uncharted.
You know what?
What's happening, Jaron?
Support that. Do it.
Barely anybody
Really?
even knows what that game is.
Yes! I like the Uncharted games, and I think a multiplayer Last of Us is a complete waste of time.
All
So,
right,
yeah,
let's end the show on that high note.
put those people to work on Uncharted. Let's see. The other thing is another thing I don't know if anyone's actually clamoring for, but someone's doing it. Newegg has introduced a GPU trade-in program where you can, I see
I've got
you,
a GPU miner.
Owen,
That can't turn on
rubbing
anymore.
your hands together. So they're setting up a program where you can trade in your old GPU towards the purchase of a new GPU.
Dude,
And,
Owen, you got to do that.
I got
wonder-
8 of them.
You can't feel bad
Well-
for screwing over a company.
See, that's the question: is will you be able to put multiple trade-ins towards one
It
purchase?
sounds like when you put a graphics card in your cart, a pop-up comes up to
Yep.
see if you have one that qualifies for a trade-in. So
probably
it
only
looks like a
one
one-to-one.
per-
Yeah. They want to stop. They want to stop all of us desperate miners that are like, this was a bad idea. I
have all this hardware. Ugh.
dumping thousands of dollars of GPUs, on them.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's something there. I don't know if they've already started offering it. It isn't clear, or if it's something coming soon. But keep an eye on Newegg to see if that's live or when that goes live.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea if you are looking to upgrade legitimately for like your gaming rig or something. Like it seems like a good option.
Well, and it all just really depends on what kind of a trade-in they actually offer. Like, okay, so here on their website they have prices, and they are not great. So the most expensive one that they offer trade-in for right now, they don't do the 40 series, probably because the 40 series is the newest. But the 3090 Ti, they offer $561 trade-in credit.
That's not great.
That was a $2,000 card 18 months ago.
Yeah, no thanks.
About 13 months ago, actually.
What's the 1070 at?
They do not take any of the 10 series. Only they start at the 20 series.
Parts.
2060 is the lowest they'll go, and they'll give you $90. $90 trade-in credit for that. Yep.
Really? What about the 2080 Ti? What does it say?
2080 Ti will get you $200.
Wow.
That is not great.
Yep.
It sucks.
That's
It's terrible. Not good at all.
So the AMD GPUs, oh man, that's even worse. The best they'll do is a 6950, which is, as far as AMD goes, that's still a very,
relevant card.
Yeah. $375 trade-in credit.
And I get that they're trying to incentivize e-waste. Maybe, I guess that's what they say. At least they're trying to. Because what do you guys do with your old GPUs? You sell them.
Yeah, we sell
Amazon
them
or
on
eBay?
KSL or eBay or something.
Right.
The thing about it is this. I could see this being a viable option for people who just don't want to go through the hassle. They're just like, I don't want to bother listing it on eBay. I don't want to bother finding someone on Craigslist or KSL.
Like if you're otaku,
Yeah, you don't like.
You want to go out. Yeah.
Seeing the public, you
go.
could just you get something out of the old hardware. So I mean, in that aspect. Okay, cool. Okay. But would I ever use this? Probably not. It's just you're getting hosed too hard on this.
And
value.
also, they've built themselves in a way to skimp on you too, because what happens is you send it to them, and then they evaluate it and can requote you the price. So it's not like a set price. You turn in your card and you're going to get $200. Like they take it, they evaluate it. If they feel like it's overused or whatever, like then they can adjust that and be like, well, it had this scratch on it, and so you only get $150. Take it or leave it, and if you don't take it, you have to pay for shipping to bring it back.
Oh, return shipping. Woof.
Yeah. So
yeah. Anyway, it's there as an option though. Kind of neat in some aspects. I don't think I'll ever use it, but all right. Now it's time for Conover's Casual Corner.
I love that name so much. I want you guys to know that I think it's the best name. Thank you, Jaron.
It's the best name. I've heard it. You've heard it. Everyone's saying it.
All the names.
The best name.
All the names know it's the best.
You guys suck. So I have a question for you guys. How do you guys feel about tower defense games?
Love
I
them.
got way into it back on when the iPad Touch 2. I bought one of those. I got way into tower defense games on that little guy. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a very burn bright type of situation.
Yep.
Which burned out really quick.
Yep. Well, yeah. So why did it burn out really quick for you, Jaron? I can tell you why it burned out for me. There was a lot of crap out there.
Yeah.
And they get old really fast because, and for me, they lacked a lot of depth. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. I think in general, it was one of those types of games that you just, you play for hard for a little bit, and then, I've done everything there is to do in this game. Why? I'm done.
Yeah, it takes like one very specific part from RTS. And that's it. And so once you're kind of over that part of the gameplay, it's like
buzz,
I agree with you. However, I have found some really good casual games for your phone that kind of bring the spark, at least for me, back into tower defense games. It's by a developer called Ironhide IRL. They make games like Kingdom Rush, the series, right? They've made a lot of these different tower. Yeah, Tony, no one, of course you don't know.
I don't know.
But they kind of specialized in this idea. They built an engine for it. These all kind of things. But the things for me that make these games different is you build towers, of course, but the towers, instead of the towers themselves shooting the units that walk by, they deploy units out on the battlefield for the units to walk by. So positioning of these units matters, and you can control where they position. You can upgrade the units themselves. You can have heroes that walk around. So it takes the RTS elements like Jaron was talking about and just adds a few more back in that were removed, and so it breathes some new life into the tower defense games. So these Tower Rush series, are really good by Ironhide IRL. They are on Apple Arcade with the Plus versions. They're on the regular App Store. They might, I don't know for sure, Owen, you'll have to help us out here. They might actually be on Android. I would not be surprised.
Okay, that sounds decent.
They're pretty good. The latest one is called Junk World TD Tower Defense. They're mostly just reskins of each other, but they do have the same game elements brought back in from RTS that are really good.
They sure are. They sure
Hey,
are on Android.
look at that.
You got to buy them, so they're like $2 or $3 a piece, but
They're
like
good.
There's a bunch of different DLCs here and whatever. So
They're good. Yes. So I'm here to tell you they're good. I give them a 8.5 out of 10 for a casual game, and they're good. They're good little short games. They're hard and challenging, and they have a good difficulty curve. The whole 9 yards for me. I think it's a good one. This is a good one, guys.
they have ads. You probably don't have ads.
They better not put
They better
ads
not
in
have
there
ads.
if you have to
If
buy
I-
the game.
If I have to buy it, yeah, I'm looking for
Yeah.
ad free.
Yeah, that's like a key component for me is the game has to be ad free for the casual corner.
Yeah.
What if it's a free game though?
I have not done those yet, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right.
I tend to stay away from those kind of games because the
Did you
ads
get
just
into
turn me off.
Did you get into Clash Royale?
Yeah, Cross Rail is great.
Yeah, it's like a tower defense game, sort of ish. I don't know. Yeah.
I think I like this better, but
What about Garden Warfare? Did you play Garden Warfare?
Yeah. Love that game.
That's
the Plants vs Zombies,
that's the one I'm thinking of.
the original
yeah.
Plants vs Zombies,
Plants vs Zombies. Yeah.
yeah.
I guess Garden Warfare was the third-person shooter they built in that universe, huh?
Which
Yeah.
was my kids and I still play that. That's so much fun.
Okay, so
Yeah, that was decent. I played that once.
Plants vs Zombies. That's kind of a tower defense, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
it's got
kinda.
strategy,
yeah.
right? You got supplies and you got to try and block the zombies.
It doesn't have
It's
much
never
depth
ending.
to it.
Is
These
it one of the-
tower
that was-
defense have much more depth.
I mean, that's one of the aspects about tower defense that's hard is that they are never ending. Like you don't ever actually. Basically,
Yeah.
it gets so difficult that you die, and
Well,
then
and I have
you
a
know,
problem with games like that because I need to feel like I won. You know, like
Some
I
sort of
need to feel like
accomplishment, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
I need to feel like there was a goal at the end and I hit the goal, and that's why I have such trouble with roguelike games because I never feel like I get to the end. I just keep starting over and over
Right.
and over. So that's
Although
probably
a good
me problem.
roguelike game will have a story that helps with the loop. Hades.
That's
did
what
that
I heard
really well.
Hades has, and I might give that one a shot one
The
of these
Dead
days.
Cells
That's a lot.
games was okay with that too.
Hades was a lot of fun.
Hades was very good.
It was.
That's
very,
getting a
very good
sequel.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, there you go. Conover Casual Corner. Tower defense games. He likes
I have a
these
reason to
ones
be here,
from
guys.
Iron
Ironhide
Ironhide.
IRL.
Iron Widget
Yeah.
something.
Whatever I said
Ironhide.
before.
Ironhide.
That
Yeah.
sounds wrong. Yeah, Ironhide IRL. I was right.
Okay, there you go. All right, well, that is the end of our show today. Thank you for joining us. Before we say goodbye, though, we need to give a big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers. Patreon.com/GadgetSpot. If you donate 6 shekels a month or more, you get a shout out on the air. Jaron has those for us right now.
Big shout out and thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Whiffable Tony. Thanks to James's Gameses, Andy Bird, Be the 8-Year-Old, Travis Johnson. Check out the new Baldur's Gate 3 custom text stickers at Pyman Graphics on Etsy. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Keslow, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz, Nathan Motzkus, Matt Nelson. Y'all should check out Hendrix Craftsman on Insta and TikTok. Me, Speechless Like a Japanese Video Game, ... Josh D, Dick Messerly, Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd, Joe. There are no rights without responsibilities. Ryan M, and Adam Hecht.
Thank you so much, Patreon backers. Well done, Jaron. You did that one a lot better than during the help desk. That one was
Oh, anytime.
good job. Good job there. All right. We'll see you next week. Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.